Brother. Hey, Ben.
Hey.
Tell me about this awesome podcast / radio show.
Watching from Ringside?
That one, yes.
Yes.
Where we do great impressions like... Now that you're going to do your Macho Man, okay.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
Or, I'll tell you what. What? Or, hey, baby. I can't do... I'm trying to do my Dusty. Hey, baby. How you doing, baby?
How you doing?
I'll tell you what, baby.
Wrestling, watching from Ringside. Is that you?
That's me, baby. Live and in living color.
Only on KXVS, baby. The voice of Stockton.
So people in the Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope land are tune in any way you want to because we are watching from Ringside.
All day, every day, only on Friday. And maybe Saturday, too. Sometimes on a Sunday, because, you know, they got them special shows. Know what I'm talking about, baby?
Stop stealing my gimmick. But, yeah. Ben, let's get into all seriousness. This is like... watching from Ringside, as we were talking about, is a pro wrestling show. With
the
fun.
only pro wrestling show on KXGS.
Or in Stockton.
Or in Stockton, yes.
Yeah, come tell us if you're somebody else.
The premier podcast.
Yeah. The premier podcast of pro wrestling talk in the Central Valley is me and Ben, and it's fun. So we talk about the world of wrestling from our perspective and give you the latest going-ons of what's going on in the world of wrestling, right?
Yep. WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor,
All In
NXT.
too.
Yeah, and All In,
which is brand new.
Brand spanking new.
So we're gonna
change the face of wrestling as we know it.
We're gonna break down all of that throughout, well, whenever we have a show. So I'll tell you what, Ben.
What?
Watching from Ringside Fridays on KXVS, the voice of Stockton. For Ben Sanchez, I'm Dustin Brightfield.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Welcome into Watching from Ringside.
That's the best part about doing podcasts. If you're doing it live, you just never know what's going to happen. Hey. You know, if you record it in the studio and then you pre-edit everything, then there's, you know, it's not as fun.
So how's your week been?
It's been busy, man. We had a busy week, you know, doing some work, getting out there. Got Superfish last night. That was entertaining.
Yeah.
Got Terra Coffee representing. You know, the usual stuff. What happened to you?
Nothing. Just been busy with station stuff. Summer Wonderland was last weekend.
That's right. So how do we do? I think it was overall pretty positive response, right?
Yes, it was. Sorry, I had to turn up my headphones because I wear.
Turn my headphones up.
Like
what?
Ben. What?
What?
Oh, this show's off the rails already. But it's been a good week. But let's get to what we talk about on this show a little bit.
Yeah,
the wrestling week was actually really good.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
No, wrestling was really quite something this week. I mean, we saw Randy Orton cut this amazing promo heel.
Which you actually just saw before the show, and you thought that was amazing,
yeah,
which we'll talk about.
I thought it was great. You know, I've always said wrestling's really great when it's real. You know, when you're referencing things that are really happening in the industry and you're not so focused on just your own product.
You know the two guys who actually cut those promos and could get away with it? It's actually Randy Orton and John Cena. And they're pretty good at it.
No, yeah. I think, you know, they've been in the business for a long time, especially Randy.
Yeah.
You know,
he's third generation.
Yeah. So this is great. Great way to bring him back, see what he does in the program. He's going to stomp Jeff Hardy out of existence. So we'll see how that goes. Just for fun skis, it looks like. No titles on the line, no nothing. Just an old school, you know, rivalry between the two of them. So
that's what we're going to talk about in a second. Also, we got a big announcement that WWE made on Monday night, all women's pay-per-view.
Yeah, Evolution. So this is really big because, you know, women's wrestling has really been relatively huge for the most part over the years, but in other places, right? We've seen in New Japan, we've seen Stardom. You know, Stardom's really taken off over the past several years. And then, of course, we had Shimmer you know, which produced, you know, several of the women that you see today in the WWE, and there's other places too. But this on a global platform, on WWE, for them to, you know, they've been slowly pushing this, right?
Yeah,
we've been slowly seeing like this
evolution.
women's, you know, revolution thing take off. You know, when Paige got there, and you know, all the different women from NXT, and of course they're integrating, you know, some of the past women too to come back. You know, they had that women's Royal Rumble, so we got to see Lita and Trish and a lot of
Beth Phoenix,
a lot of the iconic women's wrestlers that were you know, there way before. So, and then of course we've seen a women's cage match with Charlotte and Sasha, and then did we see an Iron Women's match? I feel like I've seen.
Was that in NXT when Sasha and Bailey? No.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Things like, I mean, we've seen like all these things, you know, all the gimmicky matches. I don't think we've seen a women's hardcore.
We saw
match.
Extreme Rules last.
We did see sort of Extreme Rules, but we haven't seen like anything like really
No.
like ladders, tables.
Not yet. Money in the Bank though.
Yeah. So they do the Money in the Banks, but this is huge because this whole show is going to be all women's, over 50 women, right?
Mm-hmm. And surprises probably we'll see.
Yeah, so, you know, kind of what they had lined up was, you said that the finals of the Mae Young Classic will be there.
And then the top 3 women's championships in the company.
Yep, SmackDown, Raw, and
NXT.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, they just announced this, so as they slowly roll things out, we'll kind of keep up to date on it. Keep you afloat on the women's
we'll get
evolution.
more into that in depth in a second, but
well, I think that's really about it for women's evolution.
You think so?
I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk more about women's wrestling, but I feel like for that announcement, they really haven't done too much. It was the tease.
Yeah.
We know it's there. We know it's coming in October.
October 28th, Long Island, Nassau County Coliseum.
Yep.
So it's going to be pretty interesting. I want to see though if they do a all women's announce team. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so that would be really cool too.
Because I know currently they don't have a play-by-play woman
that's right.
announcer. So,
yeah. And of course, you know, Renee is doing a lot of the
Backstage.
pre-show and the backstage stuff. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see who they shuffle or who they bring in for this, and it could be. I think it would be really, really fantastic.
And I know Mickey James threw out there, "Hey, Trish Stratus, one more time."
That would be cool, and that's kind of, again, that's what we're going to find out
booking
in the next,
stuff, in
the next couple months. We could see some dream booking stuff. Wouldn't it be cool if Gail Kim came back?
Yeah, or...
that was actually teased on Twitter a little bit. Gail Kim did mention something if that were to ever happen.
Or Beth Phoenix versus Natty.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Gail said she'd love to face Sasha.
Yeah, so there's all these matchups that we could see.
Really fun.
And then just think about... It's great because you have women's wrestling taking off. You have Glow that's helping that Netflix show, which is gaining popularity. Chavo Guerrero is helping with that.
Yeah, he helps on that.
And it's just grown in popularity now. And I know Stephanie said no tag team division yet, but still we're seeing groups like Iconic and other the Riot Squad and other groups, Mandy and Sonya.
Factions and things like that. I mean, you know, the structure is always there. You're always going to have, like, you have stables, you have tag team, you have all these things you can do. Now you just need to put all the women in place and then see how that all works together. So this will be fun. I think this will be cool. We definitely got a huge...
Still have a couple more months.
Huge pop.
Yeah. Huge pop.
It did. It got a huge pop, right? Yeah. I mean, when they announced it, I feel like the arena was like...
There's even a rumor Stephanie McMahon might wrestle. So we've seen it in the ring before.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, though, what else happened this week that was of interest is, I think, let's talk about it, though. It was last night, NXT. There was a change at the championship, and it kind of sets up the card for Brooklyn.
Yeah, of course, you have Ciampa who's, doing this amazing heel work in a time where... You know, in the old era,
it's like an old school heel.
We always cheered on, our heroes, and now it's like now we're in the era that it's cool to be a villain.
Yeah, like Stone Cold kind of changed that all.
Right.
Yeah.
So Ciampa's, he's doing like these really impressive work, and of course him and Gargano have so much chemistry. And this is they put on some great matches, but obviously this was for Aleister Black challenged him again.
Aleister Black is
he's good,
really good.
He's he really surprised me. He came out of nowhere. Seen him at a live show and just really impressed. He really impressed me with the Adam Cole storyline, and so that was really cool.
Even working with what's his name, Lars, the big guy in the NXT last takeover. That was a pretty good matchup.
Yeah. So this was, I mean, this is exactly what you think it was. You know, it was just like just one of those grueling matches.
Yeah.
You know, and Ciampa just came out on top. You know, still retained. You know that, and of course Johnny Gargano. You know, still appeared. So this storyline really sets up what we're going to see at Brooklyn Takeover. We're going to see the triple threat. We're going to see Ciampa defend his title against, you know, his former best friend Johnny Gargano, and then of course you got Aleister Black in the mix. So this is
who just lost his championship.
Yeah, who just lost the championship. So this is going to be really cool. You've got like two guys that are super heated that are real, you know, after Ciampa for different reasons, right?
Do you think this like ends the? This makes the fans happy though because they wanted to see the trilogy. Like,
because we've seen two really amazing matches between, you know, friends with Johnny and Ciampa. So, yeah, I think everybody was just like one more go. Yeah, you know, we want one more in the singles. But I mean, so this kind of appeases the fans,
and it gives them a payoff, kind of. So whoever wins, whoever loses, somebody probably is going to get called up after.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, obviously some guys are out, some guys are injured on the main roster.
Yeah.
You kind of want to put...
It's right after SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm, you want to put somebody in, kind of see how they're going to do, how they're going to perform. Oh, this is great. I think this is a great match for Brooklyn. Brooklyn's lined up actually with tons of stuff. Like, I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out.
And there's always a surprise.
Yeah, there's always a surprise. So... that's the big match for me. You've been watching Ciampa's run a little bit more than I have. What do you think?
I just think it's great writing. I don't know who's writing it. It's Matt Bloom or Triple H because they're part of the head of NXT. William Regal helps with that too. Yeah. He's not actually a fake GM. He actually does help.
No, he's. I love Regal. Yeah. Regal's always been an amazing villain, and it's awesome to see. You know, he was doing before they had. The Performance Center and everything in OVW.
He was actually a scout.
OVW, yeah, he was a scout and he was on commentary.
Yeah.
And he had a really great, you know, sorry to mark for Dean Ambrose, but yeah, he had a really great run down there when Dean Ambrose was there on commentary, and then they just kind of feuded, and then Dean stole his move.
Oh, did he?
The Regal stretch. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice! I have to check that out later.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But yeah, no, I like him as a GM.
Yeah, but like the core down there that helps with the group of NXT. Shawn Michaels is down there as a coach now too.
Yeah.
Matt Bloom, A-Train, the head trainer. A-Train, Albert, Tenzai.
Tenzai, yeah.
Yeah. So he helps them. But you have all these people that put Sarah, what's her name?
Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah, Sarah.
Yes,
she's
Sarah
one of the.
Del Rey is fantastic.
Which nobody knows. She used to be she was an indie darling.
Oh yeah.
Robbie Brookshire, who nobody probably knows about in America, but he one of William Regal's best friends. Another great wrestling legend. They're all part of that NXT mix, and they find these talent.
All great people to learn from too.
Who's down there now? Who was the New Japan guy before Cyrus? Former ECW guy, I can't think of his name. ROH guy, he had that feud kind of a couple years ago. Oh man, I'm missing his name, but he's down there as a coach now.
Nigel
too.
McGuinness?
No, Nigel's.
But I know he's on commentary.
Yeah, he's on commentary, but
he's not actually helping.
It was the ECW guy that was down there. He had the feud with Dusty Rhodes. Steve Carino.
Oh yeah, Steve Carino.
He's a coach down there now.
Steve Carino.
He's a coach down there now too. So it's this great bunch of like older wrestlers or pro wrestlers, sports entertainers who are down there helping these young guys, getting their feet wet again, and build a character. And we've seen this with Brooklyn because this card you said it was stacked.
Yeah, it's stacked. It's fantastic. So we've got, and we were talking about this earlier, but Adam Cole,
baby,
and Ricochet.
And Ricochet just came off a great match with Velveteen Dream.
I know.
Yeah.
And so this is great because, you know, I love Adam Cole because Adam Cole does old school like heel tactics. He's the coward chicken. You know, he dodges like every opponent, and
it's like the Ric Flair kind of, not comparing him to Ric Flair, but that kind of Ric Flair heel is.
Sort of, yeah. And he does like these cheesy, dirty tactics, which is great. You know, he's always avoiding opponents when he can. So this is great because we know how amazing Ricochet is, and Ricochet calls him out. And so I'm looking forward to this because I've seen both these guys work before.
Could Ricochet have two match of the year candidate? So the one with Velveteen, maybe this one with Adam Cole?
I think so. Yeah. I definitely think so. Ricochet puts on some great,
and he adapts to the style.
Yeah, and he does. He really does. Like if you've seen the Will Ospreay, the infamous Will Ospreay Ricochet in New Japan, where they do a lot of high fly, they got like huge flack for this, right, from veterans. Like, oh, it's just a bunch of flippity doodah stuff. And you got a praise from the other side, like the Young Bucks and all those guys who are high flyers. Like, we love this stuff. This is great. Kind of unfolded like an anime cutscene thing. But, like, you're right about Ricochet. He does adapt to his opponents.
Look at the Velveteen Dream match.
Yeah.
Velveteen's not a high flyer.
No, not at all.
But they made it work somehow. Which was one of the best matches of the year.
It was. And so, yeah, I actually think that this match will top that match. Yeah.
What else do we have for Brooklyn so far? Which only 4 or 5 weeks away?
Yeah, August 18th.
Yeah.
So you've got the Undisputed, of course, versus Now, you love Mustache Mountain.
Who's that again?
Trent Seven and Tyler Bate.
Well, they're a good tag team right now, and I think that's interesting because they came over from the NXT UK tournament, but they kind of made a home in the NXT in America.
Yeah.
With this tag team because them and the Undisputed Era has been feuding for a while ever since that Pete Dunne Roddy Strong controversy.
Yeah, that whole thing where Roddy turned on Pete. So yeah,
and Pete's back in the UK now.
Yeah. So I love Kyle O'Reilly. I always thought he was a really underrated guy.
And he's actually a tough guy too.
Yeah, he is. And him and Bobby Fish. Obviously, Bobby's injured, and so Roddy's filling in. And this is what we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
Is where I think if Bobby comes back, what's going to happen?
Yeah, what's going to happen with Roddy?
Yeah, what's going to happen with Roddy? Because Roddy's just filling in to help out. He's aligned himself. They're all champions. But I have a feeling Bobby's going to come back and say, like, I originally helped win these tag titles. You're just kind of holding my spot. This could play out a couple different ways, right? They could kick Roddy out, and Roddy could move up to on the main roster.
True,
or you could do a Freebirds thing, and you could have the three of them, one guy rotate.
Yeah, like New Day does.
Yeah, like New Day does that too.
Roddy's so good though with Undisputed right now.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. I love Roddy, and I've always loved his heel work more than his babyface work. But he can work both.
Yeah, if he moves up, what's he gonna do though? Yeah.
Oh, this is fantastic because if you put him on SmackDown. I could see Roddy versus Joe. I could see Roddy versus Styles. I could go see Roddy versus Danielson again. Those guys put on some amazing stuff in Ring of Honor.
And the Miz, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But they're doing great work again.
Yeah, and of course, I'm always gonna pop for this one, but we've got Kairi and Shayna for the women's championship.
And Shayna's getting better every pay-per-view.
And Shayna's the super heel right now in the women's NXT division. She's stomped all her competition, but at the Mae Young Classic, Kairi beat her in the finals, so they haven't really mixed it up. They've kind of teased it a little bit. They've had different altercations and things like that, and so Kairi knows that she can beat Shayna. We all know that Kairi can beat Shayna, so I'm looking for a title change here.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I'm going to see the Pirate Princess with the belt.
Oh, awesome. What else? And there's one more match, right? You said Velveteen. Was there a Velveteen?
Yeah. Oh, Velveteen Dream and EC3, right?
Well, which if everybody doesn't know, EC3, Ethan Carter.
Carter the third. So yeah, he came over from Impact.
But he's kind of getting his feet wet, as we say in NXT, and he's like, he hasn't really had a true matchup yet.
And we saw him teased a lot, right?
Yeah.
And he was just kind of appearing as a fan, and then he was always in a
suit.
But
they usually do this with like free agents. They take time. That's what they do with Bobby Roode for a couple of months. But then I think this is going to be a big push because we saw Velveteen work with King Ricochet or Ricochet. I don't know why I call him King Ricochet. That was his former name, right, or something like that. Ricochet. Then I think EC3 is gonna work perfect with Velveteen because they're kind of they're not different styles because Ricochet and Velveteen were totally different styles, but Ethan or EC3 can work the ground.
Yeah,
he can brawl a little bit.
Yeah, brawl, technical.
Yeah,
I feel like their power games are both really strong too.
I wouldn't be. If this match opens up, I wouldn't be mad about this match opening up. Or the Adam Cole Ricochet.
However you're going to open it up.
Has to have big.
Yeah, it's got to be big. So, whether you do it with Ricochet and Adam Cole or whether you do it with,
Go
EC3
follow this.
Yeah. I think the card overall is really strong. It's probably one of the strongest Brooklyn cards I've seen. And they've all been good.
I could see either Gargano or Ciampa getting called up or Alistair getting called up. Then you have Velveteen,
Yeah.
EC3. You have
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of.
I feel like for Aleister Black, I think it's too soon.
Okay.
But I definitely could see if Johnny got called up or Ciampa.
Yeah.
One of the two. But it would be interesting to see what if, depending on what happens in this triple threat match and how it plays out, maybe we might see another one-on-one with Ciampa and Johnny again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Just to kind of wrap up the storyline and then they get called up or one of them gets called up.
But yeah, that's what's known as for NXT now, and there's always surprises.
Because you see, they kind of did that with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when that was back in NXT, Sami won the championship. Kevin comes out, congratulates him, turns on him, and then they kind of feud for a little bit, and then they ended that, and then Owens ends up getting sent up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here with NXT. But also going on this week, let's get to SmackDown before we get to Raw, because I think Roman Reigns is going to be a bit of a debate, or not debate, but like a little rant.
Yeah.
SmackDown, we finally got what we've been wanting to see for a long time.
Joe and AJ Styles. It's here.
They're good friends.
It's happening.
They're good friends in real life.
Oh yeah. But they've had so much.
They had
history.
such classic matches.
Yeah,
and
so much history and
not NXT, but
and so much
TNA.
chemistry too.
Yeah. So those two have been working the indies for ever together.
Yeah,
ROH,
forever.
TNA, really good friends. But in the ring, they're great competition because they know what each other's doing and they're different styles.
And this is what's so cool.
No pun intended.
Yeah, this is what. Yeah, that's that's phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
This is so good because I think if you're friends and you have really great chemistry, you bring out the best in each other. And so now we're gonna see this on a bigger platform. We've seen it in TNA. We've seen it in Ring of Honor. Now we're going to see it in WWE, and hopefully they can handle it.
And we already know that's not going to be the main event of SummerSlam.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that the creative team kind of just lets them go, right?
Yeah.
With promos and just
I think they will.
hands off and let
I think
it.
Brian James, the Road Dogg, the lead writer of SmackDown, he'll let this go. This is what everybody says about Raw and SmackDown. Raw is the entertainment show. SmackDown is the wrestling show. And Brian James, Road Dogg, who runs the creative for SmackDown Live, lets the guys and the girls do what they want, and he doesn't really put restriction on them.
No, and that's great because you can be more creative in your promos. Obviously, I probably want a little bit of guidance.
Yeah.
But once you get to that level, then you're like the Rock level, or you're just kind of John Cena level, where you're just cutting promos and it's just off the cuff, all improv,
like we saw with Randy this week.
Yeah, and that was a great one, and
that opened the show.
And and that did, and really Randy cut. I think one of the.
I think he's underrated. Do you, promo wise?
I don't promo wise probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not wrestling wise.
Not wrestling wise.
He's great, but
he's good.
Promo
he
wise,
can have a match with anybody.
But when promo wise, like he sometimes he phones it in, but. Last week, I don't think he phoned it in. I think he was like serious about this.
No, he was serious. He especially I knew when he was throwing up the too sweet sign and talking about indie
let people know what. I know we're getting off topic, but let people know what the promo is kind of what that was about this week.
So really Randy's promo is just kind of what happened was when he came back at the pay-per-view.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah. So Shinsuke,
which that match lasted 5 seconds.
Cleaned Jeff Hardy's clock with the knee, and then Randy comes out and stomps on him.
In a 5-second match.
Yeah, in a 5-second match or something. It was ridiculous. It was less than a minute,
People
less
were
than 30
shocked.
seconds. Yeah, everybody thought they were gonna get like this kind of what's gonna happen
Epic
in this match with Hardy and Shinsuke. Yeah. So and then Randy Orton comes in. Gets his hits in and his 2 cents, and of course everyone's like, well, why Randy, why?
Yeah.
So then he explains that on SmackDown, and basically it's really just here I am in WWE. I've always been here. I've never gone anywhere else.
True.
And all these people get to come in and do what they want and have their way, and he doesn't get any respect. So he really calls out different people, right? Like John Cena and his merch, like with all the 50 different shirts.
And The Rock's done that before.
Yeah, and of course The Rock's done that too. And then he calls out Brock for not being there a whole lot, but just coming in, winning a title. And
Cena's done that too.
Yeah, and Cena's done that too. And of course the hand flailing and all the goofy gestures like an idiot, which is a total knock to Jeff.
For their feud.
And then or stealing hand gestures like the Too Sweet. So that's a reference, an Indie Darling reference to the Young Bucks
And All In probably.
and all that group, you
Yeah.
know, like
Cody.
Marty, Kenny, like all those guys. So like, and this is when I was telling you just outside, like this is when wrestling's at its best, when you can reference those things in reality,
and people know what you're saying.
Yeah, and people understand and they get what you're saying, right? It's like, well, I'm not just in the WWE bubble. You're referencing all the stuff outside wrestling in general, the industry.
Like Randy Orton gets it. He's a third generation wrestler. He actually loves the business, unlike people that don't think he cares about the business. He cares for the business.
Oh yeah.
Why would he be on? He never takes time off. Like he takes 2 months off here and there, but that's because he's been with the company for 16 years.
Or
and
if he gets injured, you know, that's when he's got.
But he
time
can.
off.
He's been a constant, as he said in that
and
promo.
And that's why it was so good, is because he got me to believe. I believe Randy.
Yeah.
Like his whole promo. Like I believe you. Like I totally get it. Randy.
Let's talk about since he started. Who's gone? Cena's not a full timer anymore. He's been taking time off, doing movies and other news and other stuff.
Yep.
Lately, Brock, as we know, is all in for the money. That's what Brock is.
Well, of course, he showed up at UFC, so there's all these rumors spiraling around that he's going to go back.
Cody left because he didn't like the creative, which is okay, and it's fine. And
I think
Cody
I think that's fantastic for Cody, because Cody's doing 10 times better than he was doing.
But as Randy said, he is the constant. He's been the main guy there since everybody else has left and come. There's no. You can look at the roster and you can say, who's the one guy left from the 2005, 2004 era? It's Randy Orton.
You're right. So, and of course, he blames everybody. He blames all of us. That we are the legend killers.
Oh,
really.
which he brought. Yeah, the legend killers, 2004, 2005, Randy Orton.
And he really kind of just did a quick synopsis of his career. But yeah, he blamed everybody else that, you know, we put all these wrestlers on pedestals and you know, all the key ones that he hinted towards.
This could set up like future matches with either Samoa Joe or
AJ Styles, because everybody loves AJ. And who knows, that Indie Darling reference could have been towards AJ too.
Yeah.
We don't know, but I mean,
I kind of like this ruthless. I've always liked the ruthless Randy Orton. It's kind of always been like interesting.
Tell me more.
No, it's interesting because the Legend Killer, I think, was the best Randy Orton of all time.
Yeah,
when he was working with Mick Foley and working with the Undertaker and working with other guys like Ric Flair and Batista, and it's it's either the rated RKO Randy Orton or it's the Legend Killer.
Yeah. No, you're right. And then of course he did the Evolution bit too.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah, that was young Randy Orton.
Yeah, young Randy Orton. Yeah, so I think this is great. This is probably the biggest highlight of SmackDown.
Oh, but yeah, go back to AJ and Samoa Joe. This is what we've been waiting for since AJ and Samoa Joe signed with the company.
Yeah, and I think it was just a matter of time. And because we weren't really sure what was going on, right? We saw Joe attack Ty Dillinger for whatever reason.
2 weeks.
Yeah, and then we saw
AJ wrestle CN.
Yeah, and because his manager was
Vega,
she came out, wanted the match, and then all of a sudden it was just like, well, this came out of nowhere.
SmackDown,
yeah, it's like Samoa Joe and AJ. That hasn't happened yet,
no.
and that's great.
And Brian James gets those two because he was in TNA with them, so he knows them.
That's right. I always forget he was there.
Yeah, 3MBK or
something like that. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to that match. I wouldn't be mad if that match actually opened up SummerSlam.
No, I wouldn't be mad at all.
Because we know AJ hasn't had a pay-per-view or main event opportunity yet in co-branded pay-per-view, but I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think, and these are that's really the highlights for SmackDown.
Oh, then
we can talk about
Becky
gets
Lynch, her fan support.
Yeah, so Becky's back, breaking arms once again, which is great because everybody hates Carmella.
And she's a babyface, truly. She's not a heel.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine how that would work with Becky as a heel.
Yeah, right.
I can't even think about it. It would be interesting to think about, but
let me throw out the old rumor from good old Meltzer. So the reason I think Becky's gonna win at SummerSlam is there's a rumor going around from Dave Meltzer from Wrestling Observer that the office, some of the writers and Vince or whoever, isn't happy with the reaction that Carmella's been getting from the fans or Alexa Bliss is getting from the fans. So we might see 2 championship changes before Evolution. And makes sense because SummerSlam's coming up.
They just getting flat reactions?
I guess so, yeah.
I know, like, the Extreme Rules thing, Alexa's and Nia's
that kind of
really
fell flat at the
just
end.
Really flat, and it was
good at the beginning, then Ronda got involved and it fell flat for some reason.
Nobody really kind of cared after that. And let's talk a little bit about that Extreme Rules, that clock thing, huh? and the Iron
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
We didn't really touch on it last time
guess-
we reviewed it, and then I heard because that was one match I didn't see.
I heard one reason that the clock got taken off is Kevin Dunn, who is the executive producer of WWE TV and pay-per-views and all the live TV programming. I think he put it up for the reason, but then he took it down. But Seth and Dolph wanted it up the whole time so they can know where they pace themselves. And I guess they like took it off the jumbotron. You okay?
Yeah,
with
I'm
it?
all right.
Huh? What? But that's one of the reasons. But how do you feel?
Well, I don't know, because I feel like when I saw some highlight footage of it, why is the crowd so infatuated with the clock all of a sudden?
I guess I don't know. Maybe it's
I get it if it was a Royal Rumble.
yeah.
But this isn't a Royal Rumble.
It's
This is
an
an
Iron
Iron Man match. And the thing is if you've seen previous Iron Man matches, there's never. Here's my questions: why was there a clock in the first place? Because there's never been one before.
Yeah, usually the clock's on the TV.
And two, why do Ziggler and Rollins, who are both veteran wrestlers, need the time
to pace themselves.
to pace themselves.
Because you got the referee with the earpiece.
Yeah, the referee's got the earpiece. The referee can, like when
That's what Vince is talking
when
in the
he's
air.
checking to you know, for breaks. He can say, you guys got like 10 minutes left.
Go home
whatever.
or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever the keywords are.
Yeah.
They can do it that way.
Because Vince is in your ear the whole time with if you're a
like
referee.
there are all these different methods and ways. Like they could have taken their fight over to the announcer booth, and the announcer could have said, all right guys, you got like 5 minutes left,
or even Drew McIntyre could have.
Yeah, anybody, the ring girl, I don't know, somebody.
Yeah, they all have earpieces.
So that I don't understand that either. But the crowd reaction, they started counting down this whole thing, and it was just like every 30 seconds, right? Or something like that. It was ridiculous. And I don't know. It's just like, it sucks because these two guys really are great performers. Like they put on a great match, when I saw like the highlights.
And this has made Dolph relevant again.
I think this is a good heel run for him. So where they go from there.
Which is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Great.
Yeah. What, you're not a Dolph fan?
No, not really.
What?
I've never been a Dolph fan. No.
Yeah.
When AJ Lee was there, but I was an AJ Lee fan, so
of course he would be.
yeah.
But getting back,
what is that supposed to mean?
know.
All right.
But getting back to the rumors, what else is there?
Yeah, you can give me some rumors, Mr.
Vince
Dirt
McMahon,
Sheets.
Vince McMahon is not happy with Chris Jericho going to New Japan
I
to
know.
wrestle Naito.
I know you were on the conference call for this.
I'm always on the conference call.
Tell me what
according to
Vince told you.
Nothing. I guess I don't know. The thing is, what the rumor has always been is Vince and Jericho have a deal where Jericho would not work for any other company in the United States besides WWE.
Right. Of course, that obviously changed last year.
How so? New Japan?
Yeah, or
Well,
was he did that this year or last? But he was involved with New Japan last year. He didn't wrestle, but he was doing like the promo stuff.
Yeah,
right?
but like that was on U.S. soil,
yeah.
so he can go to Japan all he wants. But some speculation is Jericho's been saying like, "Oh, look at Impact, look at ROH, look at all these other companies, all in." And I don't know.
Oh, that'd be awesome if he was at All In.
See, that's the thing is though, I don't know if Jericho is gonna break that promise, but people are having these rumors online that people are, even Jericho suggesting, because he's good friends with Scott D'Amore and Don Callis, that he might join Impact for like a little run. But
Well, Cody did that.
I don't think I'll ever see Jericho outside of WWE ring, and because Jericho said it himself, he would never work. But people's minds do change.
See, that's the thing. He said it, but we don't know what like the actual contractual agreements are.
They don't
like
have a contract right now. It's just a word.
Yeah,
between
it's just
him and Vince.
like so. I'd just be like, if Jericho's, he's a smart guy and he wants to keep himself relevant.
He does.
This is a great way to do it. Like him being in New Japan is fantastic. It still keeps him relevant. He's doing like amazing heel stuff like that. When he attacked Naito for the first time, he was dressed up, with his shirt and he had a mask on and a hoodie, and then he took it off and everyone was like, oh my God. Like, we thought we had seen the end of Jericho in New Japan after Kenny.
He's such a fan of wrestling. He takes all this old school stuff and makes it into New Day stuff today.
And so that's why I've always liked Jericho. He's always been one of my favorites. He's always, kept it relevant. I know like people were irritated when he came back with the flashy jacket and he never said anything and he just teased it. But I was like, yeah, that's when I think about it, it was frustrating at the time. But then I thought more about it. I was like, oh, that was so cool.
He was even frustrated a couple of years ago when he had to wrestle Fandango.
Yeah. So
he'll say, hey, yeah, I'll do it, Vince, but I can't get.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I think when you get older and you have that other things going for you. You're working on other projects. You kind of want to pick and choose how and
that's
when
what
you're going to get
that's
involved
what he
in
says
wrestling.
now, I think, because like when he came back and he wrestled AJ at that WrestleMania, he kind of got AJ used to the company. Because Jericho's okay with that. He doesn't need a title run anymore.
No,
he's fine with.
He's
not
just
having,
putting people over.
He likes doing that, and as long as you can put
just like
a great match out
just
there.
like he put Kenny over in New Japan, and
put anybody over.
Yeah.
As long as it's good.
and just the
He
same
wanted to put Goldberg over, but Goldberg never wanted to get put over, I guess. So.
yeah.
But Jericho's a great business in wrestling mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like you got the cruise. He's got the cruise
Yeah,
going.
which Impact and ROH are part of, and he needs to sell tickets.
So how do you think they're gonna broadcast that?
They're working on it, I think.
I don't know. Call Jericho. Let me know.
Other rumors is The Rock might come back to wrestling at WrestleMania 35 because
And you were saying because The Rock told you that his movie careers or his movies are slowing down, so he's like, hey, Dustin, I think I should go back to wrestling.
after the Skyscraper movie, I don't think he has another big project coming out for a while. So
yeah,
he likes to be busy.
Jumanji 5 isn't around anytime soon, so
but I think he wants to come back, and he loves wrestling, so he'll come back. Who are we gonna see him against?
I don't know. Like when these guys come
him
back,
and Braun Strowman.
that would be weird.
It would.
I can't see that.
That'd be hilarious with that promo.
Yeah. Maybe he can come back as Ricochet's manager.
He likes Ricochet a lot, though.
Aren't they related?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so, but he's a big fan of the work.
Okay.
What else do we have on? I don't know. The show's kind of slowing down right now, Ben.
I know.
Anything else?
Well, I think we've hit all the high points.
Any other stuff you're looking forward to next couple of weeks?
Well, of course, I can't wait for NXT Brooklyn, so I'll just kind of keep tabs on NXT to see how they're going to build it towards August 18th, because that's about three weeks away, or 2 weeks away or so. So that'll be good. Other than that, we kind of looked at the Impact, the Slammiversary, and everybody was really talking about Slammiversary, like what an amazing show this was. This is nothing like they've seen as far as an Impact show. We kind of looked at Callahan and Pentadragon, or is it Pentagon? Pentagon. Yeah, I'm sorry. So
that match was physical.
Yeah, that was a really intense match, and it's something that I think is always missing from Impact. I always felt like when I first was watching TNA, it was really, you got a diverse crowd.
Yeah.
Because you had AJ and you had Joe and you had Daniel.
But you also had Abyss and Sabu for a while.
Yeah, you had Abyss, Sabu, you had Team Canada, things like that. You had a great mix of people, Shelly and Sabin. So now that, TNA has really shifted over the years, you kind of lost that. It kind of fell flat. A lot of the talent was leaving. Like, who's really going to be there to do anything or to kind of help the company? So of course you had the Lucha Underground guy come in and go against Callahan. So it was a mask versus hair. So it was kind of obvious. It's like, well, I think Callahan's going to lose this because hair is easier, for that kind of match. But it was a really different match, right? Because Callahan's a more aggressive brawler. And so we got to see like all of that come out. Like we got to see the chairs, the kind of hardcore style, which, is his trademark stuff. And of course, he's going to be a part of Jericho's cruise as well.
Yeah, he's starting his feud with Bully Ray.
Bully Ray. Yeah, and that's always fun. And Bully Ray is fantastic. And this is somebody where when I saw him and Devon come back to WWE, I was really excited. And then when they kind of broke them up for a little bit, I was hoping that we'd see the Bully Ray character. Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't. And so after that,
Devon's an agent now.
Yeah, he's an agent now. And then, of course, Bully Ray's, doing other things.
Yeah, radio.
He's doing the radio.
Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM.
And then he's really involved with Ring of Honor a lot. I think he might.
And he's working with Tommy Dreamer with House of Hardcore.
That's right. I knew
Tommy Dreamer was actually at Slammiversary.
Doing the rounds. Yeah, he was.
He was wrestling.
Oh, that's right.
He was wrestling Eddie Edwards.
Yep, that's right. So he was still doing his thing, and I think I saw the Twitter of that too. Yeah. He's like 47 years old. And he's still.
But yeah, Bully Ray's making a nice indie. He might be at All In. We don't know.
I'd love to see Bully Ray at All in any shape or form, whether he has a match or whether he's just
cutting a promo.
Cutting a promo on people. I think he's really brought a lot.
He's going to be there for the StarCast.
Yeah, I think he's brought a lot to Ring of Honor right now as far as a heel manager.
Oh, he's a manager right now?
Yeah, he's kind of like the GM kind of role.
Yeah.
And he's really kind of picking on key wrestlers. But it's great because he's really helping them put them over because nobody does heel work any better than Bully. Bully's like one of the top heels. Yeah, it's great. I haven't really been paying attention to Ring of Honor that much lately, so I can't chime in on that. But
Petey Williams is back.
That's right. You did mention that, and he was back for the Slammiversary, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who he fought?
Man, I don't. You could look it up real quick.
Man,
but
okay.
I'm trying to think. But yeah, Petey Williams is back. There's a couple guys who Austin Aries, of course, doing great stuff back in Impact.
Yeah. So I saw Eddie Edwards challenge him
for the next whatever pay-per-view event they do or whatever.
And I think that's cool because we always saw Eddie with what's his name, Davey Richards, American Wolves. So this is cool. So yeah, I guess you're right. Petey Williams is going against Ishimori on.
And Petey Williams has a history with
Impact.
Scott D'Amore, who's one head of the creative team.
That actually looks like a pretty good match.
Yeah, Impact's doing good stuff right now. They're kind of changing the model.
Yeah, so I would say that it's worth looking into now, and worth watching because it's on Pop. Is it still on Pop?
I think it's on Pop.
Yeah,
I have to
it's
check
on
though.
Pop. So
yeah, I think they're trying to find a better deal though.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we're still wondering what All In's going to do for broadcasting, but they did announce a match with Hangman.
Yeah.
So he's on the card. And I know they're still trying to get. Of course, we got to see Alicia on Impact because we didn't know who that was, and I knew I'd seen her before on a web show doing interviews with wrestlers. So she is, I guess, a part of Impact because we did see her because we saw Scarlett debut on Slammiversary, and she was the not ring announcer, but what would you call the
interviewer?
Interviewer, yeah.
So Ben, before we go, anything you're looking forward to in the next couple, next week before our next show about wrestling?
Nothing really.
Yeah?
No. I
AJ
mean,
Samoa, Joe.
Just Joe and AJ, see how that develops.
Promo work, yeah, because AJ got attacked by Samoa Joe this week and put to sleep.
Yeah.
Ellsworth got thrown out by Paige.
We saw Paige fire that, so we'll see how that changes the dynamic with Carmella.
I think
it'll be the same. It's not going to matter either way.
Yeah.
Whether
I think
James
Carmella, that was like for the Asuka period only. And like they're going to maybe do something with Ellsworth. I have no clue yet, but
so that whole thing sets up Carmella and Becky for SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, which I think is actually going to be an underrated match. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that those two will work good together.
So what is SummerSlam considered, a SmackDown pay-per-view?
It's a co-branded pay-per-view.
It's a co-branded
pay-per-view. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, all pay-per-views are co-branded now.
Okay.
So they stopped that one.
They stopped the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vince didn't like that after a while.
Yeah, I think that just gets a little too confusing after a while.
They used to do it back in like the early 2000s, but yeah.
What about you? What are you looking forward to in the next couple weeks?
Well, Brock Lesnar will be on Raw. Oh, we didn't even talk Roman yet. Roman Reigns beat Bobby Lashley.
Oh.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. Hearing my voice? No.
I know. You're a huge Roman fan, right?
No. I don't hate Roman. I don't want to see him and Brock again. And he gets so many pushes because I know Vince likes him, but the universe and the fans just don't want him as a champion. He should be a champion. Make him a heel. Or make him something. But I don't think he's going to get over as a babyface.
No.
Mm-mm. And Dean Ambrose hasn't come back yet, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Just not responding to my text, so.
Yeah. Hey, I'll text Renee. I'll get the info.
Oh yeah? That's not gonna go over too well.
Yeah, Renee Young.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe you can Twitter her.
I could.
Yeah. Say what's up with John. Where's he at?
Are they still living in Vegas?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You don't know?
That's a good Twitter question for Renee.
She's actually pretty funny on Twitter.
She is. She's really funny on Twitter. If you guys haven't followed her, follow Renee Young. She's very entertaining.
She actually does improv too.
I know. Yeah.
She went to school for that and stuff.
That's what she originally went to school for, right? Improv and communication.
And acting too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ben. Oh, that's loud.
Oh my God.
What?
What?
If you haven't heard our new promo on KXVS, take a listen because it's on fire. For Binman, Ben what?
Ben
Ben Sanchez, baby. It's been a fun week watching
I'll see you
from
on
Ringside.
the trail, Dusty Trail, right? I'll see you later, baby.
For Ben Sanchez, I'm
Time to
Dustin
go.
Breakbill. Thanks for watching from Ringside. Fridays here on KXVS, or any other day that we might have some good breaking news, or we have some
Any
stuff
day
to
of the
preview.
week, every day of the week. You text me, baby.
For the I can't anymore. Watching from Ringside, thanks for listening to KXVS, the voice Stockton. Until next time, I'm Dustin Breakbill. That's Ben Sanchez.
Peace.
Bye.